Hi everyone, Bill Renchler in the 1011 Now streaming. Nice Monday. We're excited that LTU try and do it once a month, just kind of catch up on what's going on in terms of LTU. And you know, trees are starting to get some leaves on it, and that means that we're going to start to have some construction cones start to pop up, right?
We do. It is our favorite season of the year, so really excited that our spring construction season is kicking off, and the weather's cooperating with us for now.
It has. As I just said before we came on air, I did put away my snowblower this weekend, so hopefully that doesn't jinx us or anything, but I think we can close the book on snow for this season.
Man, I hope so. I am done with snow. That last one was enough to be the end for the season.
I finally had my big tree branch that had been hanging down since the storm last July. It finally came down, so that's how I spent my weekend with my saw and chopping it up.
It was, it was a good winter, and overall I think it went well, but I am very happy for spring, and that we're talking construction, not snowplows.
Yeah, and so construction season, kind of what does that time frame look like?
It's really hard anymore, but we pretty much can say April to October.
Okay.
Depending on the weather, we can get some in March or as late as December, but typically April to October.
Okay, so we try and squeeze as much in, kind of like the end of the school year. Again, we were just talking before we came on. Try and squeeze as much as we can into that time.
We do, and we try to get as much as we can done before school, especially around the school areas, because adding construction with drop-off and pickups just makes it even harder. And so we try to get all of those done before August.
Okay. And so I think I looked on the page, and you have, I want to say about 20, maybe 25 projects, I think, on the list. And you're going to be going kind of every corner of the city. Can you kind of walk us through some of those projects?
We have a lot going on right now, and so just if you're driving out and what work has started, we are currently continuing our work on Normal Boulevard. That's a pretty big stretch that started at the end of last construction season and continues. We are finishing up a rehabilitation project on 17th from about A Street to S Street. And then our West A project, which has been going on for a couple years, that should finally wrap up this construction season. So those are ones that are currently, you'll see people out there working if you drove by that area today. Okay.
And I know, because I drive by it on my way home every day, and I looked it up. Again, the webpage we have up right now, this is just lincoln.ne.gov. Again, if you go to, I believe it's the LTU page, and you can see the whole, and it's great because it's like, hey, here's planned, here's in construction, here's done.
No, this projects page has been fabulous for us. Our staff use it every day, but it just does give you a very good visual. You can pick what years you want. If you wanted to see what we got done last year or what we're doing next year, you can also adjust that. But it really shows all of the work that's going on in all four quadrants of the community.
And so we have 2025 punched up here. So again, the blue is kind of in development, the yellow is in construction, and then the green is done. But one of the big things people always wonder about is those main streets, those main arterials. I looked it up because I drive by it every day. It's O Street from like Cotner, I don't know, right in front of Panera. There's that one lane closure. But it looks like it's going to be done later this month, according to the website.
Yes, we have a lot of work going on our arterials. Up in Northwest Lincoln, we have Northwest 12th Street from West Adams to West Highlands. Also, kind of in that north part of the community on Adams Street from 36th to 49th is going on, as well as 33rd and Fletcher to Superior to 27th Street. And then down in the south part of the community, we have Nebraska Parkway that will be under construction later this summer from about 48th Street to 56th. And then Pine Lake Road, a really big project down there that will span from 14th Street all the way to 32nd Street. So a lot of work both north and south.
And I mean, it's not just the main arterials; it's the neighborhood streets as well. Do you have any neighborhoods kind of picked out for this year?
We do. We have several neighborhoods that are picked out this year. So Arnold Heights, we have some work going on in that area, as well as and I'm just looking down at my notes, Eastridge neighborhood on the east side of town. And then we also have around Pound Middle School. We'll be seeing some work. So again, kind of spread out all across
all over the place
community.
there. And again, this website's great. You obviously have the map, but you can just hit the list here, and it kind of lays it out, all of the projects, when they're kind of in design, when the construction is tentatively started. And again, this is where I was looking about 20, 25 projects, and I believe I tried to add it all up, about $30 million
it is.
worth of projects.
This summer is going to be busy. We are getting in the last year of the quarter-cent sales tax, and some of these projects with the quarter-cent sales tax have been in planning the last couple of years, and they're now ready to be constructed. So it is going to be a busy summer where we're restoring a lot of streets across town.
And so, that kind of leads you tomorrow, Election Day, Lincoln on the move, quarter-cent sales tax back on the ballot. We talked about it last time you were here, kind of the most common questions, and I'm sure it's one of those things that hopefully people are studied up on. I know a lot of people that just kind of walk in and see things for the first time. What do you want people to know about it as they kind of get the polls?
So in the last couple of days, a couple questions that I've been getting are the growth. How much is going to growth, and what does that actually mean? And so 25% of the quarter-cent sales tax revenue is invested in growth projects. So think of the edges of the streets, kind of that South 40th Street near the Cancer Center, some of the other medical facilities. That funding goes to arterial roads, not the residential roads within those developments. It's just to the arterial, so like South 40th Street. And so that's one question. The other question is, how do we know it's working? And our potholes, which we often talk about this time of year, have been reduced. Right before Lincoln on the Move started, we were averaging about 50,000 potholes a year. In the last 2 years, we're down to 33,000 potholes. And we expect that to continue to decrease as all of these projects, as we see on the map, continue to be rehabilitated and restored so the weather doesn't have that impact like we normally see. And so those, I think, are some of the big questions we've received in the last week.
And I know, again, you'll have to remind me on the numbers, but you have your whole list of projects. You'd only be able to do just a handful of them without the quarter-cent sales tax.
With the quarter-cent sales tax, we're able to do about 11 to 12 projects a year, which is why we have busy years like this. If it doesn't pass tomorrow, without the quarter-cent sales tax, we'll be doing 2, maybe 3 projects a year. So the work will definitely slow if it does not pass tomorrow.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll have to, again, see what folks do at the polls tomorrow. Last thing we want to talk about, again, busy construction season, so there's going to be detours, there's going to be road closures. Best way for people to kind of get away during the busy time?
Really, we encourage people to check out that projects page. That really is helpful in planning your trips around the community, what areas to avoid for a while. We also encourage people to use the Waze app, and that is very helpful to know kind of the progress of streets and which ones to avoid during that time. We do send out all of the information. We lean on our partners such as 1011 and the radio stations. And we encourage everyone who's near a project to keep an eye out in their mailbox, because we do send postcards with updates to really keep them in the know of what's going on with the project that impacts them.
So yeah, just on that LTU projects page, I mean, you have like latest news stuff. I mean, just a couple days ago, you're like, hey, we got a couple street closures coming out. So again, lincoln.ne.gov, and you go to the LTU page. Again, we have the road closures up here. So again, we're just kind of trying to plan things out. It's got, hey, down one lane here, full closure, whatever it might be. Great resource for folks to use.
We try to make it very accessible to everyone, because there is a lot going around town. And so this just helps you plan your travels just a little easier.
I would say, and one last thing I wanted to bring up, I would say, in the midst of all these projects, the other thing that's listed on here, for $33 million, you guys also have the multimodal transportation center.
Yes.
On your plate as well.
We do, and I'm excited. We just are wrapping up 60% design on that project. We are still anticipating breaking ground yet this year, and so we're really excited that that project continues to move forward. We'll be having some public engagement in the coming months, so keep your eyes open for that, and we will have more information.
No shortage of things going on for LTU, huh?
It is busy every day, which is great. That's why I love the job.
All right. Well, Director Elliott, we thank you for your time. Anything else you want to make sure you kind of get in before we let you go for the month?
To learn more about the quarter-cent sales tax or the projects that are ongoing, just go to lincoln.ne.gov/streets.
Awesome. All right. Well, Director Elliott, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching. As always, keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, for all your latest news, weather, and sports. Until next time, hope everyone has a nice month.
1011 News is everywhere. Download our smart TV apps